Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm Amanda Fowler of inspiringinkin.com. In today's video we're going to be making this really cute shaker card using a brand new stamp set called Cheerful Critters, and we're also going to be using the clear envelopes to do a really quick shaker card. So I'm really excited to show this to you, so let's get started. The Cheerful Critters stamp set is in the Spring Summer catalogue. It has three main focal images, so there's a rabbit, a bear and a little chick and some sentiments. They're all holding banners. We're actually going to be using the bear. I am going to be colouring in using blendabilities today. Now, in order to use blendabilities, you need to make sure, turn it right way up, to use Memento ink, so that the ink doesn't run. And also I've found with this particular stamp set, the images, I'll bring it a bit closer so you can see, the images are quite fine lines, fine details. So I'm actually stamping on a piercing mat, and well, it's actually called a stamp and piercing mat. It is designed so that you can stamp on it, and I'll show you the difference actually, because that will probably help explain why you might want to use this for your fine detailed images. So what I'll do is I'm going to stamp it there, and can you see, firstly I over inked it and I've got a splodge up there, but we'll ignore that bit. That's not the bit I'm trying to show you. It's this bit here. It's not quite come out, so what I'm going to do is do it again this time. Oh, good job I got my grid paper down. Make sure it's inked all over. You can always tell, just tilt it just to make sure. And then I'm going to stamp on the pierce mat, the stamp mat, and look, hurrah! So let's put the two together. You can see that you get a little bit better definition. I don't use this all the time, I have to say, with my photopolymer stamps, but these have got such fine lines on them that it just really seems to help. So let's move that out of the way. Okay, I'm not going to be doing any fancy colouring in today. That's one of the reasons I picked this stamp, because it's got really lovely stripes and they're really easy to colour in. So I'm just going to colour in every other one. Now, a couple of tips for you. When you're putting the lids back on, make sure you do it when flat on the table. There's a circle piece inside the cap. Not sure if I tilt it that way, hopefully you'll be able to see. And what it can do is actually splay out the tip of the blendability, so you do want to make sure that you just take a little bit of time and put it flat on the table when you're going to put the lid back on. And do keep the lids on, they're alcohol, so they do need to have their lids kept on. Okay, I'm going to do a tiny bit of shading here in this corner, just a little bit, to give it a bit of definition there. Okay, so I need the brown in order to do the bear's paws and face. So this, I love these blendabilities. I'm not the neatest of colouring inners. That's probably a proper artist's, probably is the right word. But as far as colouring in is concerned, and these are so forgiving. Everything that you do, it makes it look like you're a professional, even when, like me, you're not. Right, let's do that piece. Okay, now you've got quite a choice of sentiments with this stamp set, but I'm going to use a teenage favourite, which I absolutely adore, which is I like your face. So I think that's a really good sentiment for a Valentine's card, really. So there we go. So that's kind of the tricky bit, the colouring in bit. Now we are going to do a bit more stamping on the card blank. Now I've got this little tiny heart stamp. It's from a different stamp set. It's from Something to Say, but obviously any heart stamp would work. And I'm just going to stamp all the way around the outside edge. Now this is Bermuda Bay and Bermuda Bay ink. So because the image is all going to go on in the middle, I'm not stamping there. I'm just giving a little bit of interest to the edge there. Okay, and also a little bit there for the inside. So now I am going to put the inner in. And then we're going to make the shaker part of the card. So I didn't actually give you any measurements of this. So this is 2 by 2.5 inches. Then this Bermuda Bay piece is 3 by 2.5. So that just gives a little border around the outside edge. And then this piece is 4.5 by 3.5. Now I'm going to bring in this new border heart punch. We're going to use the confetti that this makes for the inside of the card. And what I'm going to do, this piece, sorry, 4.5 by 3.5. So the 3.5 side is just fractionally larger than the punching area. So all I'm going to do is pop it in and just make sure it's even both sides and punch, and that gives a lovely topper piece to the card, and it gives you confetti, but that's not enough confetti, so I'm just going to stamp some more in black and more in Bermuda Bay. And then I'm actually going to use the little heart punch from the Itty Bitty Accents. It's actually the one that matches the heart stamp that I used earlier on. And I'm just going to punch out one of each colour of these slightly bigger hearts. And there we go. Okay. Right, so this is now going to go onto the basic grey layer, and then I'll show you the really neat trick with the clear envelopes. Okay, so these are the clear envelopes, and they're going to reflect dreadfully. I think you get 50 in a pack, and they are exactly what they say on the tin. They're clear envelopes, and the side-to-side measurement is just 4.5 inches. So although I've cut this piece to 4.5, that piece there is on a bit wonky. Hang on, I can't leave that like that. That is not good. Let's just straighten that up. There we go. Okay, so this is 4.5 and this piece of the clear envelope is 4.5, but you need a tiny sliver more. Now you can get your trimmer out, but I've got my scissors, so I'm just going to take a little sliver. Can you see how little that is? Little tiny sliver off the bottom, just so it slides in easy. There we go. Okay, so that's going to go into the bottom, and then you're going to put in your confetti, scoot it off to the edge of the table and then pop it in. Put your confetti on the front. Now obviously you can use whatever you want, you can put glitter in there and all sorts, but I kind of wanted a manly Valentine's, but that was cute too. So there is a sealing strip, glue strip on the back, and all you're going to do is you're going to flip this over and pull it tight and stick it down. How easy is that? So look, there we have your confetti that will dance around on your card. So all that we need to do is to put some dimensionals on the back and put plenty on, just to give it a bit of dimension all the way around. Press the papers down a little bit. These little dimensional backings get everywhere. Found some on the dog the other day. Poor thing. Right, okay, so this is going to go down on there like that, and there you have it. All finished. And there's the original one. Brilliant. So it's really simple. The magic numbers for you to remember is the 4.5 and about 3.5 wide. So if you're using the Stampin' Up clear envelopes, then that is exactly the proportions of the piece of cardstock you want in the back. And then of course you can add any kind of confetti onto your cards. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like any more information about the products that you've seen, or more inspiration and creative ideas, do pop over to my blog www.inspiringinkin.com. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.